Hi, editing Max here. I'll get on with the intro in just a second, but somehow this video didn't get uploaded. So this was meant to go up on August 3rd, and for some reason I just didn't do that and haven't noticed until now on the 17th. So you're having a bonus video this week. Here is what I made 3 weeks ago, I guess. Whoopsie. Back to past Max. Hi, I'm Max. I'm the creator behind Eat the Rich Art. I use he, him, and they, them pronouns, and I'm here to show you what I made this week. So, to start with, the vast majority of the things that I made this week aren't actually currently here with me because either they're in my stock bags or they sold in the market I had this weekend. So I did film Friday night a little clipperoonie of what I was getting up to, so I will insert those right here. Hello, this is Past Max here with the things that I'm taking to the market in case they sell. So, this week has been a very market prep heavy week. I'm still planning on doing a bit more market prep tonight, but we will see whether I actually finish anything. If I do manage to finish stuff, I will pop in with a quick video tomorrow morning to say what I made, but for tonight, here's what I've made. So, I'll be showing you what I made on Monday in the section I'm going to film on Sunday, so I won't bother talking about that. But the week started for me market wise on Tuesday. So on Tuesday I made a variety of small things. I made 4 possums. No, these aren't possums, these are capybaras. I made 4 mini capybaras in latte and vanilla fudge. And these took, I actually have my iPad so I can tell you how much yarn they took. This is the pattern by Crafter Frog. It's free on YouTube and Ribbler. I have made 10 of these, including these 4, 10 of these this year so far, because they sell really well for me. So, they take 3 grams of latte or whatever darker colour you're using, and 10 grams of vanilla fudge or whatever lighter colour you're using in a weight 5 chenille with a, what size hook do I use? What size hook is missing from my bag because it's got tape on it, so I can't actually tell you what size hook it is. I use a 4.5mm hook. I charge £6 for them. People seem happy to pay £6 for them even though they're quite small, so bonus. And they use 8mm dies. So yeah, 4 of those. Then I also made, was it this guy? Yeah, this guy on Tuesday night. This is Spoo the Spider by Munolu. A lot of people make the Handmade by Nickel jumping spider pattern, but I think I've got it, I've just not tried it. I do like this pattern though. It's completely no-sew. You can customise it however you want. This was 30 grams of red and 5 grams of black to make this guy. This is done in Parfait Blush. Yeah, and it's just really gorgeous. The black is Yarn Smith Chenille Chunky because I was running really low on this. So, yeah. Then on Wednesday I continued the spiders and made 2 more. So I have one that's purple with a black stripe on its bum and one that's just purple because that's the way that I could make 2 spiders out of the amount of yarn I had left. And these used, they all used about 35 grams of yarn, like all 3 of them, so there you go, that's how much it would take to make these with. And I also used a 4.5mm hook on those. Then I continued to make small things, so I made 2 rock golems on that day. This is the Handmade by Nickel pattern. These took 9 grams of storm grey and 5 grams of apple green each, so they take about 15 grams of yarn. These are another one that, despite being fairly small, are £6 and people are happy to pay that. I never get any like wincers at the prices for these or the cappies. People don't mind. So I made 2 of those on Wednesday, and then I made another 2 on Thursday. I crocheted like a madman on Thursday, honestly. So while I had the mossy, rocky colours out, I made this guy. This is the Pebble Crochet's Gremlin or Goblin pattern. Theirs has huge, big pointy ears on. I'm too lazy, quite frankly, so I do small ears. This is another one that people just love. I can see why it is gorgeous, but yeah. Whenever he's on my table, he sells. I make a couple of little mods. So like I say, I change the ears. I obviously add some colour changing into the arms. I tend to add a colour change on the body as well, but I keep forgetting to do that for this one. To add a mossy patch in, I also add a little bubble tail to it because I think that's cute, and I think the X as a belly button actually comes from the pattern, but that was that one. And he took 61 grams of storm grey and 11 grams of apple green. So throughout all of this, I still have enough grey left to make one more rock golem if I wanted to, out of one ball of yarn. So they're pretty economical as well, like you get a lot out of one ball. So considering that the rock golems sell for £6 each and I could have got 5 of them out of the ball, and then this guy sells for 15, that's £45 of things out of a ball and a half of yarn, really, because I wouldn't have used a full ball of apple green or anywhere near a full ball of apple green in the process of these. In fact, I can tell you exactly how much I used. 11 grams and then 18. So yeah, I've used about 30 grams of yarn. I'd use another 5-ish on another rock golem, so not even half a ball. So a ball and a third of yarn, really, at £3 a ball is about £4 worth of yarn. Obviously plus a little bit for eyes and stuff, but in the grand scheme of things that's negligible. So £45 off about £4 worth of yarn is not bad at all. Personally, I'm quite happy with that. So sorry, my meds alarm's going off. So yes, that was Thursday. Also on Thursday, I had a really long call in the evening because I was doing a survey thing, focus group thing. I do them every now and then, get paid for them, it's quite nice. So I decided to make a couple of larger but still quick and easy patterns while I was on that call, because it was 2.5 hours long, so I was like, I can whack out a couple of things pretty easily while I'm on the call. So I finished the gremlin off while I was on there. I made this bat buddy. This is a pattern by Molly Made Crochet, I think. Hers is a bear. I adapt it to be a bat by doing some wings that you do a circle in the round and then single crochet along the outside of the wing and add some frilly bits using double crochets and slip stitches. This is from her pattern, the little pumpkin bit on top of the head, and then I do some little ears by chaining 3. They're surface crocheted. I chain 3. I put 2 single crochets in the first one from the... No, I put 1 single crochet in the first, in the second stitch from the hook, and then 2 single crochets in the next one along, and then slip stitch back into the head. And I give him a little a long nose, the same way bats do, to make him into a bat instead of a bear. This guy will sell for £9. He used 1 gram of apple green, 1 gram of rust, 19 grams of tangerine and 19 grams of black, so he's also quite an economical pattern for how big he turns out. Like I said, he's £9. I probably could charge 12 for him, but I'm happy with the price. And then finally, not finally actually, because I've made something today, but I made, this is Henry the Mallard by Edgar the Octopus. It's a free ribbler pattern. He's a bull bird. Whacked it out during that call as well. So this took 17 grams of green, 20 grams of rust, 4 grams of lemon yellow and 2 grams of white to get this guy done. Like a lot of the patterns actually I've been doing this week, this doesn't use all that much yarn. For the price you can get for it, I charge between £9 and £12 depending on the market. And that's how he turns out. And then the final thing that I've made that I'll be taking to the market is this guy. This is the Pumpkin Sack Man by Toby's Handcraft. It's a free Instagram pattern. I just love him so much. I need to touch up that eye. I didn't quite fill it in as well as I thought. But yeah, he looks really uneven on camera. I do promise in person the eyes are more even. It's just that because the eye goes around the curves, the camera can't pick it up properly. But yeah, so really love this guy. He also looks like he has a broken arm. Whoops. He's also a bestseller. If he's on the table, he will sell for me, so that's why I wanted him for this market. Considering the size of it, it doesn't take very long. It takes me maybe 2 hours to make total, and I'm not the quickest crocheter. So that's that guy. He took 40 grams of tangerine, 33 grams of vanilla fudge, 2 grams of rust and 1 gram of apple green, plus a bit of black. I don't weigh my DK black because I can't be bothered. Quite frankly, he will sell for £15. I could probably put him up to 18, but I don't bother. And that is that one. So that's what I've made today. I have plans to make a hot dog pup tonight, though it is already 8, so we'll see if we get that finished, because that one takes me ages. But yeah, I'm going to pass to Sunday Max, Future Max now, or maybe Saturday morning Max, depending on what I get done tonight. And I will fill you in on anything else that I've made this week. I said it would be Saturday night Max that popped in to tell you if I got something done. It is in fact Friday night Max. No, I said it would be Saturday morning Max. Either way, it's Friday night. Probably about 4 hours, 3-4 hours after I filmed the last bit. So, hi. I got a hot dog pup made. I've not weighed any of the yarn for it, but here he is. See you Sunday. Welcome back to Monday, because I forgot to film this on Sunday, so if I seem drowsy or tired, I'm filming this at like 8 in the morning. But yeah, so other things I made this week. So I had a bit of a struggle keeping up with my ducks. I did 2 on Monday, and then the rest of them were done last night. So we do have 7, just about managed to get 7 in. And then I'm immediately starting on this week's today, so it's fine. The duck count is now at 49 ducks, which is insane. So ducks were done. Then the other thing I did this week was I had 2 pattern tests to do. So the first one I had was on Instagram for Sly Foxy Arts, and that is this cutie. This is Olive the Alien. The pattern should be coming out this week. I think I will link it as soon as it's available in the Google Doc, and I'll show it again once the pattern's out. But isn't she just adorable? I love her. So this is Banat Baby in baby blue, baby denim, and then this is the variegated baby blanket, and this is called Little Denim. So it does match. The speckles in this yarn are these two colours, which is very satisfying. I'm very glad I got the chance to do that combination because I think it looks really, really cute. These are 20mm eyes. That's an 18, and then these two are 16s, and that is how this one turned out. It's turned out very big. The yarn I used on this, I forgot to get my spreadsheet up because of course I did. So that was the first of 2 pattern tests this week. And that used, God, I've made a lot of things this year. Olive the Alien used 154 grams of the baby blue, 53 grams of the baby denim, and 33 grams of the little denim. So about 240 grams in total. If you were going to do it all in one colour, it would only use 1 ball. But it's nicer to do it with accent colours. So that was that. It is quite a good one if you just have like a scrap left of a ball for the wings. That's quite useful. You can also do it where you do the collar and the horns in different colours. So you can use up scraps that you have. Same with the inside of the ears, they can be done with a different scrap. So if you wanted to do all different colours as the accent colours, it would be a very good scrap buster. But you do need quite a lot of the main body colour. You need at least half a ball of banana for that. So that was Olive the Alien. The second pattern test I did this week, I did this one Monday. I did this one yesterday, and this is Jax from the Amazing Digital Circus. This was a Ribbler pattern test, and the pattern is by Life with Danny. Again, that will be linked as soon as it's available. Yeah, I love him. I love him a lot. I've given a bit of feedback on how bulky the eyes are, so hopefully that can be improved, but that was my only criticism with this pattern. The only thing I did differently was you're meant to just chain and then sew on the straps. Because of the UKCA rules over here, I wanted to make sure that they were like definitely secure to the body, so I slip stitched up. I've only chained over the arms and I've sewn that down, and then slip stitched back down the body. I've done that on both straps just to make sure, again, it was definitely secure. This is quite a high sew pattern, though there is definitely ways that you could make it lower sew. So you sew on the ears, but once you've made it once, you could definitely work out how to crochet them into the head. I have technically sewn the head on sidewards, but that's because the pattern was clearly written for people who yarn under and I yarn over, so his head ended up egg-shaped when everyone else has round heads. So I sewed it on sidewards because he does have an egg-shaped head in the show, and it's like that. So yeah, if you yarn over like me, you will end up with egg-shaped head, and I recommend sewing it on sidewards and working out how to crochet the ears in. You do have to sew the eyes on. The way the pattern's written, this is 4 pieces for the eyes, so the black is separate to the yellow. So you do have to sew the black to the yellow and then the yellow to the head. The arms are also sewn on, but you can, again, probably work out how to crochet them in. Same with the pocket. You would probably have to make a prototype first so you can count your rows, but you could probably work out how to crochet in the bottom of the pocket so that you only had to sew the sides. But yeah, that's this guy. Very high sew. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pieces you're sewing on to the main body, and then you have to sew the head to the body as well. So 10 pieces of sewing, which for a little guy like this is quite a lot. Though to be fair, this did only take me like an hour and a half, 2 hours. I'm not the quickest, and that was with all of the sewing, so not actually bad timing wise, because I reckon I could get a decent amount for him, because he's actually like fairly big as well. He's bigger than my head, like taller than my head by a decent chunk, so I do think I could probably charge sort of 18 to 20 for him, which is about 2 hours work. So that was the other pattern test I got done this week. And I think that is everything that wasn't in the update on Friday. So ducks, 2 pattern tests, and then all of the market prep. Had quite a productive week. We made, let's count that. It's not going to let me do a count. That's not helpful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 18. 18 plushies and 7 ducks. So 25 things in total. That's where I'm going to leave it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe if you are not already subscribed. It helps the channel out a lot. It's free for you to do. And I am so close to my goal of 100 subscribers this year, so any help would be greatly appreciated. Also drop me a like or a dislike if you fancy it, because the algorithm treats both equally the same, so that would help to boost me in the algo, so that more people, more eyes get to the content. What else do I need to say? My Instagram, my store are linked down there. My store's not updated. I am planning to try and tackle that this week. We'll see. Yeah, no promises there. What else do I need to say? My Instagram is linked below. If you want to see more from me, more frequent updates, that's where I update. My TikTok is linked, though I'm struggling to post on there at the moment. I do have a TikTok coming about going to the Leicester Yarn Warehouse, so that will be up at some point soon. Comment something, maybe some alien related for Olive. Because that also helps me with the algorithm, and I think that is all of the YouTubery things. Hype if you can. I don't think anyone can though. I don't think I'm eligible for it. And yeah, that is everything now. I'm rambling, so I'm going to go. Thank you again for watching and have a nice day.